So you use like all mattes?
Yeah, because I can't really, the sparkly doesn't look good on me. I don't know why. I think, I don't know, maybe it's because they're so hooded or something. It just doesn't really, it's not a good, you know, so I avoid them anyways. It's
I
not
love
a good
mattes
look.
myself. What brand is that? That's really nice.
This is Catrice.
Oh!
It's a cheap, but I love the colour. I saw it
It's
and
so
I was like,
nice.
that's really
I'm gonna
nice.
show you,
And it's
yeah.
very blendable as
And
well.
Catrice is cruelty free
It
as
is,
well.
yeah.
That's such a nice colour.
Isn't it? It's really cute.
Wild ginger. I've known a few wild gingers in my time.
So that's just kind of, I do that so I have a guide. So when I go with the
Uh-huh.
eyeliner,
Yeah, that's smart.
I just kind of smudge in like
That's a
these
good
little
idea.
fucking shortcuts that I've developed for myself because
That's really clever. I'm liking picking all these up.
yeah, that's what I do.
So I'll use the same foundation. So the foundation we're actually using is the NYX Total Control Liquid Foundation. So the way you applied foundation is exactly how I would do it as well. So just like stippling it, patting it onto the skin.
Yeah.
You get nice even coverage and it doesn't aggravate your skin at all.
Yeah.
And then I would do the exact same thing. So I would put the foundation on the eye as well. So close. Do you usually use primers or anything like that?
No, I don't really like them, and it kind of makes it not sit properly.
I agree, and my foundation comes off so much faster.
Yeah.
I don't really like primers at all. So see how you've got kind of hooded eyes? What I would do is like stretch out the hood of the eye.
All right. Yeah.
So that you've got a nice even base everywhere. Then do you, I noticed you didn't set your foundation in place with powder before you went in with eyeshadow.
Yeah.
You don't usually do that?
No.
So that's where we would differ. So I would.
Okay.
So I would use this one here, the W7 Very Vegan Sheer Translucent Powder. It's actually already kind of creased, so I would go back in.
Yeah, I've got wrinkly eyes.
So then I would just lightly dust a bit of setting powder everywhere.
Oh yeah?
Yep, just to set the foundation in place. It means
Oh,
you're going to get
it's sitting there.
a lot longer wear out of it.
Mm.
And it's also going to stop the foundation from creasing on your eyes and make it far easier to blend out your eyeshadow. So what I would do, you went in with a packing brush. So so Fiona used a flat shader brush like this to pack her eyeshadow on. You can do that. What I actually find easier is to go in with something like this. So it's still a similar shape, but this is also a blending brush. So it's going to do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah.
Which stops you having to go in and blend so much.
Okay.
So this one is the E25 from Sigma. I rave about it. So what I would do is kind of apply it in the way that you did. So I noticed that you kind of applied it in the dome shape, which is perfect for hooded eyes. So I would do the same. I would apply it everywhere on the eyelid in the dome shape. If you guys haven't seen my video on the dome shape and you have hooded eyes, I'll link it in the top right hand corner there for you. So what I'm doing is I'm applying it literally like a half circle shape. And then building that colour up. Make sure you get it right onto the inner corner of the eye, but don't go past that inner corner of the eye. Then what I'd get you to do is look at yourself straight on in the mirror. And if the hood of your eye covers that, then you need to bring it up higher.
All right, yeah.
So I might bring it up just a little bit higher because this is acting as a transition shade, like that. Then what you can do with this same brush is just take the excess off on a bit of tissue, turn the brush over and then blend just around the edge of that eyeshadow.
I kind of thought that like a blending brush would be too wispy to pack on colour like.
This one, no, but then something like this would be.
Okay, yeah.
So this one's got that flat edge.
Tighter.
Yeah, so this one's got that flat edge. You can still pack eyeshadow on. This one doesn't have that flat edge.
Yeah.
So this is great for blending out large areas. this is great for packing and then blending.
Oh.
So this is like the brush I swear by because it just makes life so easy because you can do both with it. So we'll be using, I just applied that light mauve. Now I'm going in with a slightly darker shade. Again, they're both mattes. So I'm just going to use the same brush. Keep it simple. Going in with that slightly darker shade, and I'm going to concentrate this again, like pretty much exactly what you did. You did that really right, is concentrate the darker shade to the outer corner of the eye to elongate the look of the eyes. And again, just kind of blending as I go with that same brush. And keeping it kind of in like a C shape.
It's like the softest brush ever.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the darker purpley shade from Catrice. Same way that Fiona did. But the brush I'll be using is the Sigma Domed Utility Brush. So it's a domed kind of brush. It's very, very sturdy. And it's great for packing on shadow in like a designated area. So we want to keep this eyeshadow right on the outer corners of the eyes. And I'm just kind of dotting that where I want it to go. So with a brush like this, you can't really blend. It's too dense to blend.
My blending brush is like a bigger version of that brush.
Oh no! Poor eye.
I know, no wonder I have such wrinkly eyes.
And then I'll just go back in with that same E25 just to gently blend around the edge of that, soften it. So open your eyes, look straight ahead. So you can see that the shadow is coming up a little bit higher than her natural crease. So that way when she opens her eyes you can still see it despite the hood of the eye. And I'm also kind of winging the eyeshadow out as I blend it to elongate the eyes and kind of make them look bigger, and then you tidy that up at the end.
Yeah.
And then you went in with a black. You went in with a
Yeah, this little
black.
fella.
I think your eyes could actually carry a winged liner really well.
Really?
Yeah, because you've got, like, despite having like slightly hooded eyes, you do have a lot of lid space.
You're so
But they're not that
slightly hooded.
Like if you
and
see
they
how
down at top.
No, they don't do that. Look at yourself in the mirror and drop your brows, like
Drop them.
yeah see, mine are more hooded than yours.
Yours don't even look hooded, Stephanie.
You can't see any lid space, whereas you still have lid space.
Oh,
so mine are actually more hooded than yours.
Yours are more hooded here, but mine are more hooded here.
Yeah, so yours kind of hood that way.
Yeah.
Mine hood when I draw my brows all the way across.
Yeah, I can see.
That's just my eye shape. Like they've always been like that, so I always hold my brows up. Right, so I'm actually going to go in
the worst area
with a tiny brush. So I'm going to go in with a Sigma E30. Again, it's a very stiff brush, so it's just like a smaller version of the one I just used. It's going to apply the eyeshadow to a greater area. This one's going to be more precise. And I'm kind of just bringing that up into the crease. So again, doing that half C shape. And then I'm just going back in with the E25 that we used at the start, and I'm just blending that out and softening it. Look at this. So it's pretty similar to what you've done still.
Yeah, but my eye definitely looks more open on this side, doesn't it? It looks more hooded on this side.
And then what I would do is I would go in with a shimmer now. And I would take a small brush so that you have really good control over where you apply it, especially if you do have hooded eyes. You don't want to end up with shimmer on the hood of the eye because it's just going to make it look really hooded.
Yeah.
So this is a Sigma Detailed Lip LO4 brush. I always use it for eyes. And I'm going in with a shimmery white shade. And I would apply it just directly on the arch of the brow bone there to make that area pop and kind of come forward. And that also gives the eyes a lifted effect. Then I would also take that same colour and apply it on the inner corner of the eye to make them look bigger, brighter, and more awake, so shut.
Ooh, that's way better, isn't it?
And then what I would do is the eyeliner. But I'll let you go back to your eyeliner first and then I'll do my eyeliner.
Okay, cool.
If you were in a rush and it was just for daytime, I would just get a matte black eyeshadow, a really black one.
Yeah.
And rub it through the lash line, pretty much similar to what you did. But I think your eyes can actually pull off a winged liner. So I'm gonna try and do one neatly and show you.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. You're so gentle. Any other time I've had my makeup done, they're like shoving their face.
That's what they do when they're so hard.
Like that.
Like, makeup artists should not press hard.
Another thing that I have an issue with is them using really poor lighting inside when you're going to an outside event.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like 3 shades darker than you should be for the day. And then you're a shade lighter for the night.
And probably oxidizes as well.
Yes, it's not a good time.
Okay, let me see this brow.
That's a whole lot of brow.
Then, I'm going to go in with this. It is a concealer.
Where are you going to put that?
Around the outside of the brows. To neaten them, and again, it gives the brow a lift as well.
Alright.
So I would use...
Can I make them look more tidier, like?
Kind of, yeah. So I would go around here first.
Oh yeah.
So you see the difference?
Yeah.
It just kind of gives that part a
It
lift.
does really, and especially here.
Yeah,
really
I always
there.
focus
I
it
would
there because it
never
lifts that
put it
area
there.
and it kind of opens the eyes up when it does that as well.
I would never put it there, but it does. You can see a good lift there now.
And then sometimes I would put a little bit
weird.
above the end as well.
I actually am coming round to the eyebrow.
I told you! Do you ever wear lashes?
I'm so bad at putting on lashes.
Okay, cool. Maybe
So
we should go
usually
through
they
that as well
just
so I
like
can show you.
lift up like that.
Oh, that's what I hate. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's because of the eye
I
shape.
can get them onto about there, and like I'll stick them in there, but then they'll just lift.
Yeah, they come off.
Yeah. And I never put any highlighter here, but I usually put a little bit. But it doesn't really show up, but I do it anyway.
So you set your face after blush?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't really do any like bronzing or anything. I'm so pale, like it looks stupid on me. After my, you put it on, because I always go too heavy on my blush and I need to work it. That's why after, I didn't realise for a second, I was like, because I'm finished.
So I'm going to go in with this product here. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye Corrector in the colour Rich from IT Cosmetics. So that orangey shade is going to counteract any blue tones under the eyes. So look up this guy. It looks scary when you first put it on.
It does look scary.
But trust me.
It looks so dark.
It is. But that's the whole point because the orange counteracts the blue, so the blue won't show through. So that looks horrifying, I know. But you don't leave it like that. You don't leave it like that. So then you would go in with a brightening concealer.
That really worked, didn't it?
Yeah, and then when you
I
set the
look
powder,
much
it's
more
even
awake.
brighter.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely need that.
Then what I would do is go in with my powder on a puff. So because you don't have oily skin, I don't need to put powder everywhere. I'm just going to put powder a tiny, tiny amount to set everything in place and to give you more longevity
Yeah.
out of the foundation.
I usually put loads of powder on.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't need it. This is called Breakup. It's one of the contouring pans from Makeup Geek. So this is a Sigma E40 blending brush. It's very big, very fluffy. And take a tiny, tiny, tiny amount on your brush at one time. Tap off the excess and then also put the excess on your hand. So you're working with such a small amount at one time because you can always put more on, but it's so hard to get it off once you've already got it on. So turn to the side. So it just gives you that slight...
Oh, yeah. That's nice, like, it lifts it, doesn't it? You can
Yeah,
actually see it, like, oh, there's a bone there.
It gives, like, some structure. Well, that's what contouring is all about, isn't it? Shade and light. So the blush I'm going to use is, again, similar to what you used, just a baby pink matte. This is Spellbound from Makeup Geek. And again, I'm going to apply a tiny amount and very slowly build it up. So I saw that you went in with your blush before setting everything in place with powder. That just means that it's going to kind of stick where you put it because it's going to stick to the stickiness of the foundation. It's going to make it really hard to blend out. And it makes it more pigmented. So turn that way with it, smile. And you just want to kind of pat this a tiny amount just on the apples of the cheeks where you would blush naturally.
It's very subtle, isn't it?
I mean, I know you like your blush, so you could put more on, like that.
It's nice.
But I'm also putting it a bit lower than what you did.
Yeah.
And then whatever's left on the brush, that's what I would tap up and away. So you kind of have that gradient effect. So like the bulk of the color is here, and then whatever is left is just gradually fading away.
Okay.
Like that. So this one is actually a shimmery bronzer, which I wouldn't use on everybody, but because you don't have oily skin, we can use it. So this is the Ambient Luminous Light Bronzer from HOURGLASS. And then you want to put this anywhere the sun would hit naturally. So if you imagine the sun's like beaming up at you from up here, it's going to hit the top of your forehead, kind of the tops of the cheekbones, a bit in the bridge of the nose, and possibly the tip of the chin. Okay. And again, tiny, tiny amounts. You can always put more. And when you use a brush like this, you kind of don't need to do a lot of work because it kind of does it all for you. Look at that. So even though you're pale, it kind of just gives you some warmth. Yeah. Looks like you've been out in the sun a bit. Yeah. And then I would go in with highlights. So I saw where you applied your highlight was kind of like in a...
Yeah, like there.
Yeah. So that's actually closer to the eye than what I would take it.
Okay.
Because around the eye, everybody's got these fine lines. And if you put highlight there, it kind of highlights them. So I would keep it on the bulk of the cheekbone, which is about here.
Oh, okay. Kind of the bit where it protrudes
exactly,
a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
So that's the part you want to
like, look,
highlight.
there is a cheekbone.
You can bring a bit up here. So I put mascara on the top of the lashes and the bottom. Did you do that?
Huh?
Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I just go from underneath.
Yeah, so what
if I go from the top, no.
No?
No.
The reason I do it is because it coats them from both sections, so you end up with like thicker looking lashes and they're blacker.
So yeah, I usually wear nudes. I don't really go for matte dark colours because of that, because you don't want that smudging around.
I would agree with you fully on that, and especially when you've got your eyes done up.
Yeah.
You want to kind of choose the focal point of the face.
Exactly, yeah.
Lips or eyes, not both.
I would nearly always go for like eyes over lips.
Me too. Eyes are the window to us all. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Cheats. You can overdraw with it, because again it's like a kind of neutrally brownie colour, and it stays put. Just because you can with this. I mean,
they look way more full, don't they?
And then what I would do, I would go in with something a little bit lighter over the top to kind of soften it down a little bit and give you some hydration. Yeah. Alright, so the lipstick I'm going to use is the Kim KW lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just going to apply this directly over the top. And then I'll put a bit of gloss because again that's going to make the lips look a bit more plump and pouty and give you hydration. This one's not sticky. This one's amazing. It's like an oil. It's from Inica, I think it's called. Inica Organic. It's an Australian brand.
Oh, it smells nice.
Yeah, it's really, really comforting on the lips as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's really nice and glossy, but it's like not sticky.
I like that stuff.
It's nice, isn't it? This is the natural, the natural set from Ardell. They're 110.
Yeah, that's it. But the lips there, that's the only fecker of a thing.
So what I would do is always chop them up, especially if you aren't great at applying lashes. And I always chop them up because if you have the issue with them lifting on the inner corners, this will stop that. So yeah, I would chop them up quite small. Again, I have done a video on this. If you guys have hooded eyes and you want to know more in depth, I'll link that in the top right hand corner. I would wait a little bit just for the glue to go tackier so that when you put them on they don't kind of swim around everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
And pop that on the inner corner. Go through and add all the rest on, so that make sure you're not leaving any gaps where you chopped them as well. So you're basically trying to reform that strip lash but on the eye. Hopefully you can see the difference in the inner corner. Show me.
Oh yeah, you can. You can. It's
so
lifted here.
You can control.
You can see it's lifted there. That's a much neater line, isn't it?
Because you're working with a far smaller line, like an area, so you can literally control what angle you put it at, what angle the inner corner of your eye actually slopes down, and the rest of the strip is not going to be yanking on it, pulling it off.
And like there's more of a separation there, can't you see? Than here. Here it looks almost like real. Almost natural.
And is it more, do you find it's more comfortable? Because
It's
you can actually, you can blink and you can move your eyes
Yeah.
around and the lashes are going to move with your eye.
You can feel the line. You can feel that like in the heaviness. And as the day, if I was wearing that all day like at a wedding or whatever, by the end of it, you
just
kind
want
of
to rip them off.
dries and it's just like get off. Whereas this is like
Because
feathery and
because
light.
they're all in little strips, they're going to move with your eye as your eye moves.
Yeah.
They're not going to be held in place by that strip, if it makes sense.
And you don't really feel the glue. With this one you do, there's an extra weight. Whereas this is just like, it's
and
the
that's
direction.
us done, isn't it?
Yeah, we're done.
That was everything.
Yeah. I actually do look like a different person on this side.
I mean, you're wearing more makeup on this side, but it doesn't look like it.
It looks like I'm wearing much less and the precision is just like, wow.